going on, Jerome's? Your Minnesota Fighting Vikings drafted strong arm, an accurate and great leader, quarterback Jaren Hall, the pride of BYU in the 5th round, pick 164 this year. The guy who made Puka Nacua, no big deal, as potentially a quarterback of the future, QB3, a project. Let him sit and grow and show and marinate with Kevin O'Connell, Wes Phillips for a couple of seasons and go from there. But with the future of Kirkua, Jerome, Ezekiel Cousins up in the air, will he be traded? Probably not, but he's out of contract. The Vikings can't tag him, and absent a new extension, the Vikings will have a new quarterback under center in 2024, and the timeline potentially could be expedited a little bit. So Nick Mullins, the veteran backup quarterback, has been sidelined with a back issue going back to last week, and also the Vikings released Tanner Morgan off of the practice squad. So the Vikings currently only have 2 healthy quarterbacks in the sphere, and on Sunday when Mullins was inactive, Jaren Hall was actually your QB2. He was Kirk Cousins' backup quarterback. But the question is, can Jaren Hall be the QB2 for the rest of the season, or will the Vikings go out and add a veteran, which, knock on all the wood, hopefully Kirk Cousins stays healthy, or if the Vikings do end up being sellers at the trade deadline, it is what it is, and they trade Kirk Cousins, is it going to be Jaren Hall, or is it going to be some veteran jabroni off the street? I would obviously prefer it to be Jaren Hall, because you want to get a good look and see what you have. And Jaren Hall in preseason, so first 2 games were very poop, and the 3rd game was actually solid, but what was hallmarked by it is that he had 0 time. He had 0 protection. The Vikings' 2nd and 3rd team offensive line was very horrifically bad, just not good. Completed just over 50% of his passes, 264, a meager 5.5 yards per attempt, a touchdown, a pick, quarterback rating of 68.4, which is not good. Can't even round up to nice, but he did have 9 sacks, including 6 in the 3rd preseason game, and a 36% pressure rate. He did run for 35 plus yards as well, but a couple of throws that Hall made, which were on schedule and just threading into tight spaces, as well as just his command at the line of scrimmage during training camp throughout, was actually pretty impressive. And Jaren Hall, even though yes, he came into the league as a little bit older of a rookie, I mean, frankly, he didn't have all the pomp and circumstance that Zach Wilson had coming out of BYU, except you can make a very good case that Jaren Hall was the better quarterback, where Jaren Hall, he took care of the football, 31-6 touchdown interception ratio, has a great deep ball, great deep accuracy, and delivers a very catchable ball on time. And Kevin O'Connell has raved about his leadership, raved about his accuracy, and that's exactly what he is going to have to do if he actually does get on the field. And of course, everyone goes back to Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, can't you see? The Mr. Irrelevant late round draft pick coming on in, and in an offense that's sort of paint by numbers, is getting it done. And now, respect, Brock Purdy is starting to expand his role a bit this year. Although it would be funny if he wins NFL MVP, because he's like the 7th best player on his team. I don't know. But could Jaren Hall potentially be a guy in that similar vein? I don't know, but frankly, I would feel fine with him rolling as a QB2, because, again, knocking on all the wood, hopefully Kirk Cousins stays healthy, but if there was any alien abductions, I would much rather see Nick Mullins out there, even though in the grand scheme of things, on that given day, would healthy Nick Mullins be a better option if the Vikings want to win that day? Sure. But seeing what Jaren Hall could be and just giving him a little bit of a baptism by fire is something that I would be very interested in, because then the Vikings would determine, is like, hey, could Jaren Hall compete with the future franchise quarterback if we drafted him, or is he the guy? Or do the Vikings have to completely go all in the draft? Don't know, but would like to find out. Again, not wishing injury on Kirk Cousins, obviously. But if the Vikings do make a change, or if the Vikings do trade Kirk, it needs to be Jaren Hall. It needs to be, screw Nick Mullins, screw any other veteran jabroni quarterbacks that they would bring in. Jaren Hall. Go from there, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Can Jaren Hall be the Vikings QB2? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.